And welcome back to the Doe Boys Dynasty Football Podcast with your co-hosts. Same as always, baby. We're back. We apologize for the delay. Delays on my part. Little time crunch when it came to getting my daughter ready for bed. So I apologize in advance just for being a little late. But Brian, say what's up to the people.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the podcast. First and foremost, just want to say I hope all the fathers out there had a great Father's Day. Hope you got to sit back, relax, drink a couple beers, have a good time with the kids. That goes for you too, Steven. I think you get a free pass just because Father's Day just passed.
Nah, I had to work Father's Day, but I did. I did get to spend a little bit of time with the family, which was nice. I got to play golf today, so it's been a good day.
Nice.
It's been a great day.
So what are we just doing today? Were we wrapping up the running backs for the past 2022 class?
Yeah, we got three running backs to talk about. Rachaad White, Brian Robinson, and Isaiah Pacheco. Not sure how you feel about these guys going forward. Their values are spotty.
I don't know. It's just one of those things where, like, I feel like if you can get any three of, well, I don't really love Brian Robinson, but the other two, I think if you can get it like a good value, it's worth like a shot in the dark at it.
I know the value I would pay for all three, and I wouldn't be willing to overpay by anything.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm not saying overpay for these guys, but I mean, I don't know if you can get one for like a back end second or a third. I don't see why not.
Nah, it's not happening. Some people love Rachaad White.
Well, yeah, Rachaad White's kind of entered the hype sphere of like the dynasty community. His value's gone up a good bit recently.
No, I'm good. Speaking of this, let's talk about Rachaad White. A lot of changes in this offense in general. First and foremost, no check down king and Tom Brady anymore.
No, yeah,
that's a negative when it comes to talking about him. But also, he escaped the draft with, losing Leonard Fournette in the offseason. And then they did sign Sean Tucker as an unrestricted free agent, but we all know about the heart issue. So what does that tell you? That tells me no competition. This is his backfield. But on the same time, losing Tom Brady, that wasn't ideal, especially when it comes to a pass catcher like Rachaad White. Rookie season caught 50 passes. That's huge PPR numbers. Because his rushing ability was very inefficient. I think he had like 125 attempts and he had like 3.7 yards per carry. It didn't look good. I'm not saying that it can't look better, but I'm just saying from what I see.
Yeah. So I don't know how to feel about Rachaad White because I think you're right. Losing Tom Brady hurts. Typically, you want running backs, especially guys like Rachaad White, to be in a good offense to kind of help elevate. Like even if they're not overproducing yards per carry wise or getting touches, they at least have a chance to get touchdowns. I think Rachaad White's in a situation where he might be in an offense that kind of struggles to get down the field consistently. So the touchdowns kind of scare me a lot with Rachaad White, and whether it be Baker Mayfield, who I guess made kind of a star out of Kareem Hunt when he was there, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes with Rachaad White.
I'm gonna be honest with you. This Bucs offense in general scares me.
Yeah,
you take Tom Brady out of the equation, and last year they weren't great with Tom Brady. It was a drastic decline year for Tom Brady. Granted, we all know the offensive line issues that they had, the offensive, all the injuries to the line. But
yeah,
say this: you go from Brady to Mayfield. It's a huge. Well, even Kyle Trask has a chance, so we'll see. But I don't know. I don't know if there's going to be any significant touches in this offense for Rachaad White, like when it comes to like valuable, like having valuable touches. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing about it is like we kind of talked about him. You saw his college shares through the roof was in the 98th percentile, so he has the ability to catch the ball in the backfield. I don't know.
He does. He's always had a strong receiving profile. The
Right.
receiving profile has always been there. There's no question about that. But he comes
Oh,
down
well,
to the
and then I kind of lost my wording, but like he's the only one there that can like have a legitimate threat. Like they haven't brought anybody in yet. Like you still got kind of like Zeke floating. They obviously didn't believe in Fournette anymore. Dalvin Cook's out there right now. I don't I don't know. I mean, there's no significant threat for him to lose RB1 in that offense. I think he rides out a full workload. I just don't know what he can do with it. That's the only upside he has is he will have that workload regardless.
right, and that's what I'm saying. But like, how valuable is his workload when this offense isn't producing and they're not scoring? What is this workload? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
Are
That's
we
what I
talking?
touched on earlier.
Are we talking low end running back too? We talking like top 20, 25 running back? Like, is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it does sound about right actually.
That's what I'm saying. Is he? So like, I guess based off ADP, I'm trying to think of where he's being drafted specifically.
Well, the top up there, I think it said 63 ADP was his ADP.
63,
Yeah, go up to the top. It says it on the
67. No,
67.
yeah, no
67.
chance. Absolutely no chance.
RB's 36 in
RB
2022.
36. I mean, do I think that he can outproduce running back 30? No, well, that was in 2022. That's what I'm
Mm-hmm.
assuming. Yeah, that was in
Mm-hmm.
2022, running back 36. Now, with a full running back workload, do I think he can be a top 25 running back? Sure. Am I excited about him from a dynasty standpoint? No, I'm not. I'm
Yeah.
not at all. He's
Yeah.
actually, these three guys here are actually players I avoid. I have no shares of any of them, not one. So
Yeah, I think it goes
definitely.
without saying. I don't draft running backs like that, so I can strongly say I don't know any of the three myself.
Now I will say this. I will say this. You know how we talk about like dynasty strategies when it comes to like robust running back, zero running back, hero running back.
Yeah.
If you're in one of those like categories like where you're filling out the board and you're drafting, and you say, hmm, I need a running back right now. I can get behind this pick. You know what I mean? I can get behind that with that strategy. I can get behind leaning on a pass catching guy like Rashad White. We talked earlier in our series about James Cook, guys like that. I can get behind that with PPR upside. I can get behind those guys. That's
Yeah.
fine. So like now, dynasty value going forward. Thoughts?
I don't know. I mean, right now he lives in a world where he is drafting 67th, which in the 10 man is the back of the sixth, or 12 man is the front of the sixth. So I mean, he's getting drafted pretty high. I mean, I preach big on you have to hit on your first five picks. He's not so far outside of that range as far as the community goes. Right now, I think his value is overinflated. I don't know what I'm paying what he's worth. I'm sure people are asking first for him.
No shot.
You don't think so?
Absolutely no shot. I'm paying a first for a shot. Wait.
I mean, I'm not saying you are, but there's people out there. I've already been sent a trade this offseason, which had Rashad White for basically a first.
That's awesome because I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I declined it instantly myself, but I'm just saying, like, what do you, if you had to put a price on him, what are you comfortably paying for Rashad White? Like, would you? I can't really think of a player comparison, to be honest with you. I was trying to think of like a wide receiver that would be like in the same like echelon as Rashad White, but
Wide receiver. Let's throw like I'm gonna say a pretty. What about Jahan Dotson? You know what I mean?
well, that's actually one of the first things that came to mind too. But I'm easily taking Jahan there in a
I'm
dynasty
taking
perspective.
I'm
But
taking Dotson too.
yeah,
It's such a tough it's a tough question. Like let's say Keenan Allen. You know what I mean? Like got like I don't know, man. Like it's a weird comparison
yeah,
because
yeah,
I know how I value Rashad White, but I also know how like the community has like put this price tag on him to where they think this is a huge year incoming, and I just don't
yeah.
see it. I don't.
I think people are just playing for the upside, to be honest with you, and I do get that. It's just I don't trust the offense that he's in. So it's hard for me to get behind him in the first place, especially now that he's kind of up there in ADP.
Yeah.
Um, but like you said, if you're in a situation where you're like, damn, I don't have, I don't know if I would rather wait if I'm sitting there with zero RB. I'm probably waiting past Rashad White to take a running back. Now, if I had a hero, if I was playing hero, maybe I'll consider Rashad White later on. But if I'm going zero RB, I'm passing on the Rashad White running back tier.
Yeah, like I said, it's just something that like I have to see it. I was never
Yeah.
convinced. I was never been a fan. So I'm not going to pretend to buy into a player that now has the backfield to itself, survived the draft, but plays on an absolutely abysmal offense.
Yeah.
Anytime you go from Tom Brady to Baker Mayfield or Kyle Trask, I don't care how you spin it, it's going to get worse. It's going to be worse. This is what it is.
Yeah.
So value, not paying the first that you're telling me that people are paying. No.
Oh, I haven't seen it. I'm just telling you what I've been sent my way. I actually haven't seen a lot of Rashad White trades, so I think the whole community is kind of like
Yeah.
backing up, like waiting to see how it rolls.
I'd pay a second round pick. I'd pay a
Yeah.
second.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'd pay a second for probably all these guys, to be honest with you.
I wouldn't. Next
I
guy.
mean, there's one that's like, we'll talk about him though.
Let's get into it then.
Ooh, number one trending player is Jaden Reed. I like that.
Let's get into it then. This is the one I would not pay a second round pick for.
Yeah.
He's a complete avoid for me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you too. I'm gonna be completely honest with you here. I know people want to talk about the volume and like he touched the ball significantly last year, but it was very bad. It was awful.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, we can talk about the horrific injury he had in the offseason. Not going to sit here and discount anything. I just want to tell you that when I watched him, strict north-south runner that goes nowhere.
Yeah.
This is what I see. He's a slower. He's not slow, but he just what I mean. It's not a churner. Like he's a north-south strict runner, and he doesn't go anywhere. I was never impressed with any of his carries.
Yeah.
When I watched Antonio Gibson, and when Antonio Gibson was on the field for the Commanders, he made significant plays. He played well. Why Ron Rivera never got him involved, I don't know. I think he hates Antonio Gibson, to be honest with you. I don't. But
yeah. Well, that's the biggest thing is like you're getting ready to touch on it. But the biggest thing for Brian Robinson is you're right. He was not productive. He did have one of the better stories. I mean, he got shot in the leg and he was playing NFL football the same year. That's an insane recovery. But the facts are the facts. And the fact is that Eric Bieniemy's now the head coach. He seems to,
offensive coordinator.
No, excuse me. He's the new offensive coordinator. You're right. And so now he's got to win him over, and I think Antonio Gibson's kind of already taken that. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you to go all out on Antonio Gibson, but I don't know. Under new coaching, I don't know if we'll be as involved. We'll see how it goes. But the thing is, they do run the ball a lot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But I think when you look at on the field, even looking back at the tape in season, Gibson was the more explosive running back in that backfield.
And the thing about Gibson that plagued him, he was never a running back. He's never been a running back. Go back to Memphis. He was never a running back. People want to talk about the fumble problems and things like that. He literally learned how to play running back on the fly. He's a wide receiver at the running back position. That's what he is. But he's an explosive playmaker. When you watch Brian Robinson get the ball, he may churn up, burn up for a couple yards here and there. But I mean, like what when you're averaging 3.9 yards per carry, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? And I'm not saying it's necessarily horrible because I've seen Melvin Gordon do it. I've seen Najee do it for consecutive seasons. Trust me, I get it. But just for a north-south runner, it you know what I mean, he just doesn't he doesn't seem to go anywhere. You know what I mean? It's weird when you watch him play. Like you
Yeah.
said, this team was top 4 in the league in rushing attempts.
Yeah, I actually didn't even see that till I finished talking.
Right.
It's, yeah, number four, number four in the league. They run a lot.
Right.
Yeah,
And I can't remember exact. He averaged over 17 carries per game. Like he was involved significantly,
he was the guy. Yeah,
and it just wasn't impressive at all.
and
And
I
I'm
think
not
he
here.
sits in the same situation where he's also not in. Well, we'll see what Sam Howell does. He's been getting a little bit of love in training camp, but I don't project this offense to be one of the greatest either.
No, I mean top 20, maybe 25.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know, but like I said, I'm buying Antonio Gibson before Bryant Robinson, and
yeah, yeah.
that's just me.
Especially how cheap. Well, I would imagine they're both pretty cheap, but I would rather
I have them
go
back
for
to back.
Gibson that
I
price
have them.
than
I have them back to back in my dynasty rankings, 34 and
wow.
35.
Okay.
So just to be aware of where I have them ranked. But I'm also lower on all these guys. So
Fair. Any other
yeah,
comments on Mr. Brian Robinson? I mean, I think they leaned into the whole narrative of him playing in the league a little bit too much after his incident.
I'm gonna be honest with you. What are you paying for Brian Robinson?
Dude, honestly, I'm not really gonna pay what anybody's gonna want for him. I mean, I might give you like a third for him. And
He's one
take
of
a
my
chance.
completely don't even not
Yeah,
even.
that's what I'm saying. Like typically, like if someone sent me a trade with him involved, I would really look at it and be like, okay, that's just a fill-in player.
Yeah,
Like I'm trying to ignore his name.
yeah, exactly. A
Yeah,
guy like that doesn't move the needle for me at all in any kind of trade talks at all.
yeah, yeah,
Like you can honestly keep him. So that's just where I'm at with it when it comes to that.
yeah.
But see, now when we transition into Isaiah Pacheco, let let's just get to it. He's more of a 2 down back, but he runs hard, runs
Yeah.
extremely hard. Love his running style, I really do. Tough. The only thing is like you don't have that extra like boost when it comes to running backs that have that true 3 down workload because he doesn't catch passes. Again,
Yeah.
the Chiefs did just re-sign Jerick McKinnon, so he's back. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, however much you think he's irrelevant, he's still on the roster. But I have a like for Pacheco. I like Pacheco. The only thing that scares me about Pacheco is the fact that he doesn't carry any weighted draft capital. That scared me. And
Yeah.
at any point, I feel like they could, this Pacheco is easily replaceable. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
That's
that's my
the
thing. That's my thing with him too. I mean, you see it right there. He got drafted in the late 7th round. Like he almost didn't get drafted.
Rutgers, baby.
Yeah, out of Rutgers. But like I said, Jared McKinnon is definitely there for the receiving role. So I guess the big question is, before I get into my whole review of Pacheco, is like Pacheco and Rashad White are both going around the same exact ADP. So would you rather have Rashad White, who's in a bad offense but has that PPR upside, or would you rather have Isaiah Pacheco, who's a hard runner in probably the best offense in the NFL?
I'm gonna be honest with you. If you're not catching passes out of the backfield when it comes to Pat Mahomes, how they use their running backs is really weird to me, and it
Yeah,
actually is. It scares me at times when you're starting a Chiefs running back. I'm gonna say Rashad White
yeah,
only
okay,
because I think I actually think he'll touch the ball more than Pacheco in general. And
yeah,
obviously PPR points are so easy. Like when it comes to Rashad White, like this, 50 catches last year. I can expect anywhere from 40 to 60 this year in that range. Pacheco probably won't see 25, 30.
right.
And
And that's
he's
my
lucky
and
to see 20.
that's what I'm getting at is like going into this video. I think if you would have asked me beforehand, I would probably prefer Pacheco out of all three. But now that we've kind of done this, we broke it down a little bit more. I think Rashad White might be my favorite of the three.
But it's not. It's no disrespect to Pacheco because, like I
Yeah,
said, I really grant him a tough running style, very explosive running style. I mean, you can look at the workout metrics up top in the corner. The dude is an
I mean,
explosive
stud.
running back,
Yeah,
stud, strong guy, runs hard. Reminds me of like a lot of like a Devontae Freeman type running style. Like, dude doesn't avoid contact. Dude runs through people. I
yeah,
love the way he runs the football. The only thing is he's only on the field for two
yeah.
snaps a series. That's it. He's a two down back. You know what I mean? Good in pass protection, that's fine, but he doesn't offer that receiving upside that you're looking for. Kind of limits him a little bit in that aspect. But like I said, no disrespect to Pacheco. Let's
Yeah.
just take a look at some of the work he had here. Also, I mean, like these numbers stand out for sure. Like if you look at these numbers, 4.9 yards per carry looks really good.
Nuts. Yeah.
Solid rushing numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Um, didn't develop a full time starter role until I want to say week 8 is when he had his first double digit carry seat or double digit carry game. But look at his playoff run. His playoff run was phenomenal.
Nuts. Yeah.
Nuts. Nuts. In his Super Bowl game, nuts. He had 300-yard games in the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely looked like the guy in the playoffs, and I think that's where a
Right.
lot of people are riding right now.
And that's what
I don't want to get. Here's the
that's
thing. I
what
don't want to get caught up in the whole like Gabe Davis situation where like people were buying him high in the offseason because of what he did in the playoffs.
No, but it's not just that. Like, I mean, if you go back and look at like he had a solid rookie year. I mean, like he played well
Yeah.
overall. And like I said, I'm not trying to add any extra added value or hype to the guy, but I want to give him his credit when credit is due. He did fade out Jerick McKinnon in the playoffs significantly. He had 300-yard games in the playoffs. He
Yeah, it's
played
nuts.
really
I'm
well.
not. I'm not trying to take away from that. I mean, they definitely believe in him. They have a vow of confidence in him if they gave him the ball that much
Sure.
in the playoffs.
And then again, we talk about it. We're talking about the low ceiling draft capital with the guy, but they didn't add any running back either. They just brought back Jerick McKinnon on a 1-year deal.
Yeah. Well, that's what I don't know. It scares me because, and like you said, that draft capital probably means like not much to them. I mean, we could be looking at like kind of like a why we saw with James Robinson. I mean, he tore his Achilles, so it's a little bit different. But like situation where like Pacheco can play a good season, but they still go out and draft the guy next year.
Yeah, I mean, we all thought that like a Jameer Gibbs type guy was going to go here.
Well, the Lions ruined that, so
Hey, I mean, like I said, you know what I mean though. But
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
another like pass catching guy, like A Shane could have fit here. Guy. I mean, but it just didn't happen. And I mean, I thought the same thing with Chris Carson when Rashad Penny came into Seattle. You know what I mean? I thought for sure this is Rashad Penny's job, first round draft capital running back. Dude's an absolute stud. It never happened. Maybe we're looking at the same type of scenario here where they do bring in competition later on.
It's
Let's just
not
see.
there.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean. So, but I guess when we're talking about like Pacheco's dynasty value, what are you willing to pay?
Like I said, I'm still in like mid to late second round here. Uh, it's
Talk
hard to
about
it's hard to project that kind of thing, but like if there's any chance that it'll be an early second, I don't know.
let's talk about players here. Let's
Players?
yeah, let's talk about players. Would you rather have
Oh man, this is gonna be rough.
no, not really. Would you rather have Pacheco or Keenan Allen?
In a dynasty standpoint, see, it's hard with dynasty because you kind of need like a narrative for it. But like, if I'm trying to win now,
You're
I'm
winning now.
probably going Keenan Allen. But if I'm in full rebuild, I wouldn't mind hashing Keenan Allen away for Pacheco. For so I don't
Okay.
know.
What about let's say thinking off the top of my head here. Oh man. I'm trying to think of somebody in that range. Another one. Let's go with Hopkins. Let's see where you're at on Hopkins.
God bless, dude. Where did he land?
Nowhere yet.
Nowhere. That's what I'm thinking. I keep hearing he's gonna get signed, dude. Until he signs anywhere, just give me Pacheco, dude. Until
Fair
he
enough.
signs anywhere. Here's the thing: is like, where does D Hop go? I've heard Titans. If he goes to the Titans, I'm instantly out.
Pacheco or Aaron Jones?
God bless. God bless. That's actually not a bad one. Damn, man. I guess I would slightly lean Pacheco on that. I just think that Aaron Jones is pretty much cooked, and I think even this year his game's gonna not be that great without Aaron Rodgers.
Pacheco or Alvin Kamara?
Who's gonna miss probably like a quarter of the season? And kind of already, they just drafted Kendry. But I'm also a Kamara stan. Always have been. But sad truth is, it's low key Pacheco. What are your thoughts on that one, Kamara Pacheco?
I have hated Kamara ever since Drew Brees retired. So this is the easiest question you've ever asked me.
So you going Pacheco?
Yep.
I'm a big Kamara truther though. I thought he's a good football player, man. Even after Drew Brees, he had some good fantasy seasons.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
I'm not the biggest Kamara fan when it comes to that. I always told you a lot of his correlation of direct success, him and Drew Brees worked magic together. But that's each, and that's near or there. But that's it. That'd be it.
That wraps up the significant
Running backs.
2022 running backs. Even if you want to call some of them that.
But the next thing is we have 2 QBs to really talk about.
Yeah.
3. We can talk about Ritter. We can talk about Kenny P.
Yeah.
So, but after that, we are going to completely redraft this first round. We're going to.
I feel like we can probably knock the 3. Do we cover Malik Willis? Whatever. We could probably do like the redraft quickly after we do quarterbacks the next episode.
I'm not talking about Malik Willis.
Okay. So yeah, we could talk about the 2 quarterbacks and then do a redraft of 2022. How it feeling a year later?
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
For sure. On that note, it was a shorter podcast tonight, ladies and gentlemen, but we appreciate you guys tuning in. We just wanted to finish up our running backs. We got a little off track last week when we did fantasy trivia for the Warrior Bowl spot giveaway. So we appreciate you guys jumping back in, talking about running backs with us. Brian, anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Yeah, let me not die first.
Yeah, please.
As always, thank you guys for listening to the podcast. Me and him are both glad that you're here to support us early on in our times, trying to find a footing in the community, find a good fan base. So grateful for any type of love we can get right now. And we're going to continue grinding. We'll be back next week. Stay tuned for that episode. We try to go every Tuesday, 8:30. Hammer it in your brain. We'll be here.
Actually, I think we're going to be able to get one in on like a Sunday because I am off this weekend.
Cool.
So on that note, keep being great, everybody. We appreciate the support, appreciate the love. And on that note, we are out.